job, well done. Job, well done. That's right. All right. My favorite leader. My favorite leader here, y'all. Hey. All right, y'all. That's how she do it. All right. You did it. Yeah. That's right. You did it. You did it, man. All right. Very good. Oh my God. Hey, ghetto you. That's right, man. Hey, see? Oh, look at that. Right. Yeah. We got 22 years. We married 16. Is that right? I never knew it even when you was out there. Yeah. That's my baby. Hey, that's I'm gonna be up here next time. That's right, man. Hey, yeah, it must be a popular thing. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, Steve, huh?
Thank you so much, everyone. What a beautiful day, isn't it? Yes. Even with the drizzle and all the fog and everything outside, we can really see clearly today, can't we? Can we see clearly right now? That's right. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules and days to be here with us on this wonderful occasion to celebrate the achievements and the completion of this wonderful and huge accomplishment by these graduates. What we want to do is just let you know that it's going to be a wonderful program over the course of the next couple of hours, and we'll have introductions as we go along. But we want to first thank all of you, all the family members, all the graduates for being here, all the faculty, staff, and administrators of the college. We also want to thank the funders who keep us going, and all the people who take care of this wonderful space. We're going to take a moment to introduce the chair of the department, but before that, we're going to bring up Ms. Carol Cheng, who is the department coordinator. Let's give her a round of applause.
Very good.
Good morning, welcome. Thank you for joining us for this wonderful event. This is the time of the year that I enjoy the most. because it really reminds us why we're here and doing what we do. Congratulations to all the graduates on stage. This year has been a tough year. The college has went through a lot. Our department has grew a lot, and I want to take this moment to thank a person who held the department together and brought all of us here, and this is Department Chair Beth Freeman.
Thank you, everyone. Don't you just like automatically start crying when you hear that song? Come on. But anyways, drink it in. This is your moment. So it's very exciting to be here. So yes, I'm the chair of the Health Education Department, and most of you know me because I signed a form that you needed to be signed. And you've seen me in the front office running around looking harried. But it's really nice to see you today on this joyous occasion. Thank you, Sal, for acknowledging all the family and friends that enabled you to get here today. And I also want to thank, I don't know if our dean, Terry Hall, is in the house, but he is a strong force behind this department, and he helps us be successful, so we're really grateful for his support. And along with the faculty, staff, coordinators, I also want to thank our student workers who are behind the scenes, doing the mundane tasks of photocopying and just all the things that we don't have the time to do, so we're really grateful for our student workers. And I also want to call out our partners, the San Francisco Department of Public Health, and some of our collaborative partners at San Francisco State University, so thank you. Talk about your dedication. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the graduates and their dedication. As you all know, all of our certificates are night programs. The classes start at 4, 5, some of them 6, some 6:30, and people get home at 8, 9, 10, maybe even later. You all have missed a lot of dinners over the course of pursuing your certificates. And you all have missed them at dinner, I'm sure, and made them lots of food to go. So we appreciate you for that. Most of you are coming back to school to enter a new career or further the career you already have. And you didn't have a lot of time before you got here, and I'm sure you have even less time while you were working on your certificates. And you carved time out of where it didn't exist. And did you know that you had it in you? Did you know that you would get here today? Because it doesn't just take talent to succeed, or intelligence. In fact, one of the most important characteristics it takes to succeed is something called grit. Have you all heard of grit? And you all have grit, let me tell you. Grit is defined by University of Pennsylvania researcher Dr. Angela Lee Duckworth as perseverance and passion for long-term goals. Grit entails working strenuously towards challenges, maintaining effort and interest over years despite failure, adversity, and plateaus in progress. By the way, in case you haven't noticed, City College has grit as well. Of course, we have talent. We have lots of talent, but it's not talent that's getting us through this adversity, it is grit. And so, you have all stayed the role to take next. So I want to say, stay the course, and congratulations, gritty graduates of 2014.
Thank you, Beth. I like that grit thing. I need some of it myself. You know, as I was standing here and looking at everyone present today, as well as the graduates, I was thinking about the challenges that we have experienced to get here as a community, and all the sacrifice that our ancestors had to make to be able to bring us here tonight as one nation. You know what I'm saying? There are people here from many different nations and backgrounds, and when did we think that we would be able to sit in a room like this sometime like now? Not too long ago, perhaps we didn't have the opportunity to do so. So if you could just take a moment to be mindful of the ancestors that have sacrificed much to get us here today, so that through their memory, we can acknowledge the accomplishments of these graduates. I think that it brings it all together. Before moving on, I just wanted to tell you a short story. It's only going to take a couple of minutes. All right. And some of you have heard this before, but I think it's appropriate to repeat one more time. Not too long ago, there was a little butterfly who came into the world thinking that it could not achieve any change. It believed so because it couldn't even fly straight. One day that butterfly landed on a flower and it flapped its wings. And from the flapping of the wings, some pollen came up into the air, and it moved and went into the nose of a gazelle that was standing nearby. The gazelle went, "Achoo!" And next to it were 1,000,000 water buffaloes, who became startled and started to run and run and run and run and run. And a big cloud of dust started to go into the atmosphere. And Grandfather Wind moved the cloud over the Atlantic Ocean. And because the sun could not come through the cloud, the space between the cloud and the ocean, its temperature started to change. And the wind started to move faster and faster and faster and faster. And a hurricane was born. And the hurricane moved across the Atlantic Ocean till it hit Florida during the time of the harvest of the oranges. And the strength of the hurricane eliminated all the oranges. And the people who were going to pick the oranges no longer had work. And those who were going to transport the oranges from the field to the factory no longer had work. And the people in the factory who were going to process the oranges to orange juice no longer had work. And those who were going to transport the orange juice to the market and the stores no longer had work. And when we went to the store to purchase orange juice, it wasn't there. And could you imagine? That was as a result of the flapping of a butterfly's wing who thought it could not create any change in the world. So imagine, with the knowledge and the skills that our graduates have, and the intention and the focused mind to complete achievements and intentions, all the change that they could create in the world. And I feel a lot better by knowing that my children are here today, and so are other children. And because of these individuals, our life will be better and our communities will be safer. So we want to thank you for your achievement and for your intention and for all the good you bring into the world. And congratulations one more time.
All right, yeah. Hey, let's go. Very good.
Well, thank you so much. We want to be able to begin the introductions of the certificate programs. And I believe that the first one online here is the Community Health Worker Certificate, which is directed by Alma Avila. Is that right, Alma? We're going to do the speakers first, and then bring you up. You want to come up and introduce the student speaker? Okay. All right. So, okay, it might take too much time. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring up student speakers representing each program so that they can share their experience. Let's give a nice warm welcome to Anthony Brooks.
Good afternoon, everyone in attendance. I would like to warmly welcome you to the graduation and achievement ceremony of 2014 here at City College. First off, let me begin by thanking the following instructors, assistants, and staff: Marina and Alva Avila, Abby Recon, Jill Traeger, Susanna Hennessy, Ida McRae, Carol Bordone, Dornaby, Rooney, I'm sorry, Shona Smith, Darlene Wild, Terry Massini, and Tim Berthold. We are also grateful for all of the resources and support we have received from both the staff and workers at the Link Center. It is because of all of you and your tireless devotion to our craft, understanding, patience, efforts, and insightful guest speakers, and using cutting-edge teaching methods to educate the future community health workers for our communities that we are gathered in this room today. My peers and I have learned the value of self-care and how vital awareness it is in our service as professionals. We have begun to utilize support systems amongst each other and realized that building relationships would help us to provide reliable and effective client-centered care within our respective places of employment. Each one of my peers, along with myself, can say that you have given us, as students, the best possible environment to grow and flourish as professionals. You have all given of your time graciously and always were available to me and my peers, also helping to ensure our success. Because without any of you, none of us would be here today sitting in these seats and accepting our certificates. After completing my course requirements for my certificate, the internship phase of my certificate that served at Black Coalition on AIDS, through this valuable experience, I have come to know and embrace the importance of living in the moment and what it means to the community we serve. I have also learned that the importance of advocacy and helping to empower clients to embrace the idea of self-responsibility for themselves. Using cultural humility and active listening in my approach, I have come to understand how hard and frustrating it can be for people to navigate and utilize the healthcare system effectively without competent, caring, and dedicated professionals in the field to assist people equally, regardless of race and social standing. The burdens of some of these people are so great that having someone who can help lighten the load can literally be the difference between getting the help they need and giving up hope. We as community health professionals have an opportunity to help better the places we live in and be a valuable asset to the communities in which we choose to serve. This will help us to strengthen us and give us fulfillment in our journey of service. With my most sincere gratitude and appreciation that I thank all of you for being supportive and understanding through this process. We have gotten to practice, train, interact, and learn with each other. The feedback, advice, and participation in classes, as well as group assignments, has instilled in us a confidence that would help us to better help our clients and communities. To say that I have learned just as much from you as I have from my studies will be an understatement. Some of the very topics we have studied, such as marginalized populations, health inequalities, social injustices, adequate health care coverage for all, have now moved to the forefront nationally and on current discussions of our world leaders on both the national and global stages. As we embark on our respective journeys as community health workers in the field, it is my hope that we do so with the best intentions and care for the people we serve. I wish you all much success in all that you do and may accomplish in your futures. And I look forward to networking with each of you here. In closing, as I look across this room of graduates from all the various departments, I know that there will be many opportunities for us to network and work together toward our common goal of a healthier and stronger united community. Thank you all and much success to all of you in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. You know, as I listen to Anthony, I realize how powerful the sense of creating community in our programs is, and how much of that not only do the students bring and the graduates take with them, but how infused it is in all of us when we are able to work in a particular way to strengthen community. Because without our community, we stand alone, and with community, then we are more in harmony and we are able to heal. So thank you for those words. The next individual who will be representing the Community Mental Health Certificate is Remelin Marie Perez. All right, Remelin.
I'm short, so I can bring this down a bit. Passwords needed so she can videotape me. Thanks, Mary. Good morning, fellow graduates, family members, friends, colleagues, faculty, and staff. Thank you for attending our commencement ceremony. It is an honor to stand here before you today on behalf of the 2014 graduating class of the Community Mental Health Certificate Program. It only took me 15 years since graduating from USF and establishing myself in the business world for 8 years before deciding to change careers. Had it not been for my life transition with recovery from drug and alcohol and my diagnosis of bipolar disorder 8 years ago, this change would not have been made possible. For years, I knew that I wanted to make a difference in people's lives. Now I can truly say that I am not only making it possible for others, but for myself as well. Community mental health is about promoting wellness and recovery. This does not only extend to our clients, but to us as well. We learned about the 5 foundations of RAP, Wellness Recovery Action Plan, which are self-responsibility, self-advocacy, education, support, and hope, which are useful in our day-to-day lives in order to promote a successful, healthy living. We have been able to implement the RAP materials in our internships and in our lives. Learning how to know what to do when things are going right and when things are falling apart is key. Being able to empower ourselves and others to take care of our well-being is a key component to wellness and recovery. I know that after having gone through the classes in this program, I have been able to manage my life just a little bit better. We have spent the past year and a half learning terminologies, concepts, modalities, basic counseling skills to help prepare us for employment in the mental health community. We learned using the cohort model, which helps us unite as a class and give us strength and knowledge and support. We were not only challenged by the material presented in class and our internships, but by our own personal values as well. We grew mentally, emotionally, and spiritually with natural ease through the support of each other, Deep, Sal, and our internships. Our initial inclination to have fear when we started this program and when we began our internship is understandable and can be expected. But now that we have received our training and basic experience, we have the necessary tools that we need to forge forward in our careers. We are ready, we are needed, and we are wanted. It is our time to shine. I'd like to end by reading this poem by Mary Ann Williamson. It's called Our Deepest Fear.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are we not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And when we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Thank you and congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Remy. That poem is inspirational. And I hope that each one of you, as you leave this room, you take that with you and understand that you have the capacity to expand your potential to however you envision it in the world. And by doing so, you give permission to those around you to do the same. Isn't that a beautiful concept?
Yeah.
Come on, isn't that a beautiful concept? Some folks who are really good at doing that right here on campus is EOPS, right? Dr. Ray Fong, Dr. Ayala Austin. Thank you for your presence and for all the work that you do to help our communities move forward. The next person up on the list from the Drug and Alcohol Study Certificate is Mr. DeAndre Jernand.
I just want to make sure y'all can hear me because we're known to talk a little monotone. I got a smooth voice, so I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. So, first and foremost, man, I just got to give it up because we started in a cohort with, I think, about 37 to 40 people, and we ended up graduating like 6 or 7. And so, first and foremost, I got to give it up to my team, man. I did good. There's a lot of hard work, man. I ain't got no speech prepared, so I'm gonna speak from my heart, man. She asked me to talk about my journey through this program, and man, that's exactly what it was. Man, doing homework, working with groups. Man, it was a lot, and then you know me, I move a lot, so I got 2 jobs, and man, trying to maintain my life and my family. It was a journey, man, but man, we had a lot of great support, man, in this program, for real. Andy, Bruce, Tiffany, all the staff, Sal, Adif, man, that was real. That was a good support for all of us, man. And, you know, we had groups in the class. Sometimes I felt like I was in treatment. You know, I had a counselor, I had a sponsor, I had everybody that I needed for me to stay safe, man, and I needed that, man. And just going through it, man, just a 2-year process and seeing it come to this part, man, is beautiful, man. And I know everybody up here had challenges, they had battles that they had to, you know, go through. And right, just living life and doing this, man, it shows dedication, it shows hard work, and you know, that's what we need in this field. Me being the youngest, man, I want to still see the pole because I don't know how I got to talk, man. You know, I don't like to talk, man. I talk too much. But I appreciate it. I'm humble, man, and I'm thankful, man. Thankful for this program. You know, it's a blessing for a lot of people, man. And, just knowing the counselors that's gonna come up out of here, man, knowing that they can affect somebody's life in a positive way is beneficial, man. And I just gotta thank my family, man. They was there for me too. Each and every one of them. speech and nothing, but this is what I wanted to do. And as far as my journey, man, this is just the start for me, man. Like for real, it's just getting started, man. So with that, I'm out. Thank you.
Thank you, DeAndre. DeAndre was a pleasure to work with in class, really always excelling in the groups and being able to demonstrate leadership in class, so thank you for that. You know, I was thinking about just my life journey and perhaps the life journey of some of us in the room, and I believe so, the life journey of some of our colleagues up here. Once upon a time, I remember when my grandmother used to tell me certain things. Did you ever have someone like that? Where you would do certain things and your grandmother or your grandfather or your father or your mom or your extended family would say, come on child, don't do that, it's gonna get you in trouble. And you just did it more, right? To aggravate them or to do whatever it was. And I remember doing certain things that ended up creating a lot of heartache and a lot of pain to my family. And then realizing one day that I needed to make a change because either I would be underground or behind the walls. And it was just complicated to do that because the life keeps on calling you back. Like my wife says, have you ever seen, what is it, like Al Pacino saying, they just keep on calling me back, keep on calling me back, join me back in, right? And it's that kind of experience. And I know that many people in this room right here, sitting right there, have given a lot of your life, a lot of sacrifice to support these individuals up here. And perhaps one time in your life you wonder, when will they change? Will there ever be a change? It doesn't seem possible. But you know what? Look at it now, right? Look at this wonderful, beautiful change. A life experience. Not only what we learn in books, but you know, most of the people up here on this stage have a PhD in streetology. And that is really powerful. Because when you start talking with community members, you reach them at a point beyond the textbook. You reach them from heart to heart. And they can understand and relate. And this is what our colleagues up here could do. And I am just so fascinated by your accomplishments, and congratulations one more time. Representing the infectious disease prevention in priority population certificate led by Ms. Joni Marinoff with the support of Emily Thompson, we have Mr. John Bowler. Right on, come on John.
Welcome and thank you all for coming today. My journey through college started back when I was 5 years old. I was coming home from school one day and a taxi cab lost control and ran up on the sidewalk and hit me. This gave me a lot of different fears in life that I never got over. The worst of these fears was a fear of social interaction. I carried this all through my school years. When I graduated from high school, college was not an option since being in a class of my peers brought me intense anxiety. I remember at a young age that I didn't want to see others go through the stress and anxiety that I associated with my condition. I would sit on the school bus on the way home from school and see other students get ridiculed for their gender choices. I wanted to do something about them, but I didn't know what to do. This is where I developed compassion for other human beings and their feelings. I already knew what it felt like to be different. After 20 years of feeling sorry that I had not developed social skills that I saw other people have, I gave up. I figured the best solution to end my stress and anxiety was to avoid social contact. This worked to keep me relaxed, but I was not a productive member of society. One day I was talking to a counselor in the social services building, and she started asking why I was not working and why I had a spotty employment history. When I told her about how my fear of social interaction kept me isolated from society and employment, she sent me to see a therapist. The therapist said we can get over these fears, but I didn't believe her. After a few months of therapy, I started gaining confidence in my social skills and what my therapist could do for me. She told me she thought I had the skills to go back to school. At this time, after months of therapy, if she told me I could do something, I completely trusted her. At the end of the class, I wanted more. This was after summer school, so I said, well, I'm gonna be a full-time student. Well, I remember how when I was a kid, I wanted to be able to help people, so HIV prevention became my goal, since this is a very serious issue. I took an infectious disease prevention class with Miss Joni Marinoff, and during the course of the class, one day I mentioned how I really liked what I was doing in school, and that I was looking at the future with a goal of becoming an HIV prevention outreach worker. She must have thought about it over the weekend, because the next week, she asked me to work for her at the Link Center. Man. The Link Center links students to campus and community resources, as well as providing computers and study space. When I thought about it, the only thing I could think of was that I can't be at a desk helping people. That was too much social contact. I expressed my doubts, and she said I'd be fine. After more therapy to address the situation, I was fine. I'd like to thank Ms. Marinoff for believing in me and helping me find my direction. I would like to thank my boss in the Link Center, Ms. Emily Thompson, for being there for me all the day. She would always have words that would motivate me and remind me that I was doing my job. Those words did not go unappreciated. I would like to thank the whole health department, faculty, and administration for making me feel comfortable and letting me be part of the team. Today, I take a different learning tool given to me by each of my teachers, and I apply these tools in my journey to become a productive infectious disease prevention worker and a community health worker. Working in the Link Center has not only helped me improve my social skills, it has enabled me to help other students in their educational journey. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, John. One of the things that I have heard in common across all the people who have stood up here today to talk is their willingness and their courage to divulge their stories and to talk about those things that they have needed to do to grow. And I believe that when individuals have the capacity to stand in front of a group of people who most of them they don't know, and talk about their life experience, that they become role models for us, and they help us achieve those things that we are seeking for, but sometimes are afraid to explore because we don't have anyone to mirror or can mentor us. And these individuals right here, these colleagues of ours, have that capacity. As you heard, they have the courage to become vulnerable in front of a group of people and discuss that. For our young folks in the room, this is an inspiration because it's a positive role model as opposed to one that may lead to something negative in their lives. So we thank you once again for just all the courage that you're demonstrating today. It's fascinating and amazing. We want to send a shout out to Miss Sandy Robinson from Pathways to Discovery and Miss Kim Benani from BPH. One of the other certificate programs, all of these certificate programs train people to provide a particular specialized service in the community. And the next program in line is the Trauma Prevention and Recovery Certificate, which will be represented by Ines Love. All right, Ines.
Welcome, graduates. Thank you, family, friends, administrators, and teachers. My classmates and I came here with a common goal: to gain knowledge that will assist us on our mission to help our communities heal from trauma and find their path to recovery. We all have our own stories of healing and discovery. If you ask me why I'm here, why I joined the Trauma Certificate Program, I would answer like this. I am here because my brother is not. In 2005, I lost my younger brother to gun violence. He was 18 years old. I'm walking my own path of healing. Just 2 years after my brother's death, I developed a youth violence prevention program called No More Funerals, because I want to prevent what happened to my brother from happening to other youth. With the knowledge and tools I gained from this certificate program, I have created and implemented a Healing from Violence workshop for transitional age youth. The Healing from Violence workshop was developed specifically for youth who have been impacted by the loss of a loved one from street violence. During my workshops, the youth share personal testimonies and learn new and healthy coping tools. I assure them that things will get better day by day, but to remember that healing is a lifelong journey. There is no easy fix, but I will be there for them for the long haul. With my trauma prevention and recovery certificate, I will continue to provide violence prevention, intervention, and healing programs to youth and support them through their loss and sustain them on a positive path. All of the information, knowledge, tools, data, research, and art that I put into my curriculum were taught to me by the wonderful, inspiring teachers here at City College. The work I do, the work we all do, wouldn't be possible without our teachers' guidance and encouragement. My classmates and I appreciate you all very much. We have such fond memories from your classrooms that we will never forget. With Lauren, we explored healing through art, poetry, dance, and we embraced the power of storytelling. One of my favorite assignments was to color in our journals at the end of each class. In Leslie's class, we learned to replace the myths with truth when it comes to sexual violence. We all have the right to say no. Let's remove our fingers from our lips and turn them into fists. With Susan and Sylvia in child development, we were taught the importance of attachment between child and caregiver and how when violence is present, the whole family is affected. We also got the chance to get in touch with our own inner child. I enjoyed the end of each class where she read us a child's storybook. Jamie taught us the scope of street violence and why it's so prevalent. Violence is a public health issue, a disease, but together we learned strategies to prevent it, interrupt it, and mend the broken pieces after it occurs. Nora gave us the opportunity to practice our counseling skills through role plays. We built the confidence and skills needed to support our community. We will take back what we learned to our communities, our families, faith-based organizations, reservations, and our jobs. We didn't realize how much we would undergo personal transformations that would help us to heal our most intimate relationships. We now have the tools to help our communities find their voices, become empowered. They can find healing from their silent stories untold. And in the words of Tim O'Brien, stories are for joining the past and the future. Stories are for those late hours in the night when you can't remember how you got from where you were to where you are. Stories are for eternity, when memory is erased, when there is nothing to remember except the story. Our stories are only a part of us. The pieces that we choose to hold on to and embrace will help guide us on our journey to support, nurture, and heal our communities. Not only did we learn from our teachers, but it's amazing how much we learned from each other. Not all of our experiences were the same, but we had the pleasure of learning, growing, and sharing our personal experiences with one another. We will walk away with our certificates as well as new friends. It is now time for us to part ways, create new stories, but we will continue to share in our common goal to help our communities, and I wish you all success in your futures. Good luck, and thank you.
Thank you, Ines. Before we move on to the next one, I'd just like to introduce Mr. Ray Scott on the guitar. Ray, give us about a 15-second love, man. Come Did you hear that? We want to bring up Miss Alma Avila, Abby Lincoln, and Carol Bertrand to present the certificates for the community health workers. Let's give them a round of applause.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you. So, first of all, it is always such an honor to stand up here and recognize the hard work from all of our graduates and the harder work that really lies ahead. It's a privilege to know you, and every year I feel like my family grows a little bit larger. So before I do turn the mic over to these two amazing teachers, Carol Bertrand and Abby Rincon, who led our two cohorts, our 2013 and 2014 cohorts, I do want to take a moment to thank Marina Avila, who has been who's an assistant for our program, and without her, it wouldn't have run as smoothly as it did. I also want to take a moment to thank an amazing teacher who will be taking a little break because of her demanding schedule, but we know she's going to be back. She's been a great teacher, and she has helped to shape the community health program to what it is today. She's been a leader, an amazing role model for our students, a colleague, and a mentor to me, and more importantly, a good friend. Abby, we're going to miss you, but we know you're going to be back. And now I'd like to introduce Carol Bertrand, who will read our 2013 cohort for the Community Health Worker Program. Carol?
Welcome to everybody, and it's an honor to be here and with all of the graduates today, and especially, of course, the 2013 cohort. We come into this world alone, and we leave the world alone. But what gives our lives true meaning during our time here on this earth are the communities to which we belong. Teaching the 2013 cohort was sometimes a very long journey, and we had our ups and downs. However, when I reflect upon our time together, I'm so impressed. I remember early on observing nervousness and self-doubt among many of you. Yet over the months together, a gradual transformation took place. And here you are today, ready to go out into the world as community health workers. I'm so honored to have been a part of your experience in getting to this point in time. As you leave, I hope you will always remember that we are all community. While we may not always understand one another, it's essential to find ways to support each other, to build our communities and make them stronger, to transform them into places that are safe and healthy, where the youngest, the oldest, and the most vulnerable can live side by side, feeling safe and able to thrive. Communities where we are all proud to live and to raise future generations. Building and transforming our communities is your challenge. It will also be your reward. So, now I would like to present the graduating cohort of the the class of the 2013 cohort. So I will read your name, and then you'll stand and come up and get this. Okay. Okay. Naomi Acton. Juan Ariza Aguilar. First time. Okay. Jacqueline Boteo Marin. So Juan, actually, okay, actually, if everybody stands and comes over here from our class, and then it's easier to get it up here, sorry.
Okay, so the folks that are graduating from the Division Club Board, if you could just move on over here to the left side of the stage.
Carlet Caldwell. Carlet Caldwell.
In memory of my dad, John, that just passed
away. Roberto David, I think he's not here, and Lian Deng. Elizabeth Gomez. Chauncey Herbert. Jenny Lau. Jermila McCoy. Gladys Mercado. Sandra Meza. Bernadette Richard. Lucine Soroy. I'm sorry, these graduates are amazing. What they have been through, you've heard some of that. Sean Scott. Paula Stone. Maria Ventura, Derek Wong. And I neglected to mention that Jackie Boteo Marmin is also getting her youth worker certificate. Is also getting his post-prison health worker certificate.
This is in honor to one of the persons that started the cohort with us, Beverly Henry, and she passed away.
Hello everybody, my name is Abby Rincon and I'm the other instructor for the Community Health Worker Program. I'm very excited to be here. This is always one of the favorite days that I have of seeing these marvelous students who worked so hard all year long and sometimes 2 years to be at this point today. So thank you to the families and the friends. This to me is the community. I don't want to repeat so much of what has been said today, but I will say this, that even though yes, I am the instructor or the teacher, I really find that my students are my teachers. And they have taught me so much this last year that it's truly a privilege to be part of this great community at City College of San Francisco. I think it's one of the most wonderful programs in existence that I wish was all throughout everywhere throughout the United States and beyond. But this year, the students have worked so hard and they talk about team projects and groups and developing resource notebooks and portfolios. They have really earned this certificate and it's an honor and a privilege for me to now know of them as my colleagues in the field of public health. So with that, I will go ahead and give out the certificates and I'm also going to give out the hugs. Okay, so the first one goes to next, Mr. John Bullard. Mr. Tony Brooks. This student, so foreign ear, is not here today, but Ms. Rosa Espinosa. Maggie Frankel is not here today. Our next student is Shonda Jackson. Mr. Elmer Ray Knowles. We get very attached to our students, so this is a bittersweet moment for us. Our next student is Ling Lee. Sempira Mayaran. Miss Vera Pittman. Our next graduate, Ms. Celeste Robleto. Our next graduate, Jessica Tan, she's not here today, but congratulations. Martha Vasconcelos. And this student is not here, this graduate, Margaret Young, but congratulations, Margaret. Congratulations to all of the community health workers certificate graduates. To give out the certificates for the post-prison health worker certificate program.
Thank you again. So some of these students are not here, but we do want to recognize them because they put in a lot of hard work. Vanessa Banks, Precious Miguel, Araceli Gomez, Teresa Harris, and already recognized, but I want to mention his name again, Mr. Emery Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Graduates in 2013 and 2014.
Okay.
I will now introduce the Community Mental Health Certificate. I think Dr. Sal Nunez and Edith will be coming up now. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you all. We wanted to ask the graduates from the Community Mental Health Certificate Program to move over to this side of the stage, please. All right. And once you get the certificate, we want to ask you if you could just walk across the stage, so if anyone wants to take pictures of them, and then you could just go around in that direction if that works for everyone. I'd like to take a moment to present a very important and significant person in my life. I think some of you already know this is, I'm her husband, right? Edith Guillen Nunez, thank you for being up here today. And you know, this is a family affair for us because our children are here as well. Idiara, the little one, and Tiari, the older one. Learning about education and the importance that it has to create change in the world and impact the life of individuals. So Edith is the Associate Director of the program, and we'd like to call her up so that she can announce the students and help us present the graduation certificates. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. This is my favorite part of the year. Really excited. I want to acknowledge the student speakers. Anthony, Remy, DeAndre, John, and Ines. Your words were truly inspirational, full with so much hope and richness and so much heart. So thank you. Thank you for that. I also want to take a moment to thank someone really important in my life. And I want to really acknowledge all the hard work that he does. He is the driving force of the Community Mental Health Certificate Program. He is so dedicated, has a vision, and just has so much heart. So I really want to acknowledge my husband, Dr. Sal Nunez.
You say that to me all the time.
Okay.
Back to the doghouse.
Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Let me take a moment. I really want to thank our funders, because without our funders, our program would not be in existence. So I wanted to take a moment to thank the San Francisco Department of Public Health, specifically Joe Robinson, Marlo Simmons, and Kim Kanani for all of their efforts and support. And the Mental Health Services Act, which supports and funds this as well.
Right.
We have community partners who opened the doors to our certificate from the first day that our program was out there looking for internships. I want to give a special thanks to Pathways to Discovery, specifically Sandy Robeson and Tina Melvin. I also want to thank Bonnie Friedman from Children's Systems of Care, CSOC, as well. Center and many other community partners who continue taking our students every year when we're out there looking for internships for them. And now our graduates. I feel really honored and a pleasure to have really been there with all of you day in and day out, teaching the classes, and I've learned so much. I love this work that I do, and I love meeting people who continue inspiring me and continue giving me so much hope for the future. So I present to you the Community Mental Certificate graduates. Rima H. Abuni.
Thomas.
Amber Gray. Reginald Harris. Peter Howe. Daryl Holman. He's not here. Michael Jackson. Denise Johnson is not here. Mr. Dion Dre Jerome. Mr. Kenneth King. Paul McCoo. He's not here. Stephen Morgenstern. Raymond Nettles. Metropolis Music. Remelin Marie Perez. Mr. Danny Purple Rose. So Alicia Slavich is not here. Leslie Les. Graciano Sunny Moulet. you, everyone. Oh, and I want to introduce Craig Wenzel, who is my right-hand
I'll talk to my wife about that when she gets everything put together. Sure. Oh no.
Okay, I have to say something.
They're here.
I really love people, so I'm going to
All right, thank you.
the students that are up here, and even if you're not in the Drug and Alcohol Studies program, I'm familiar with you to some extent. At least I've seen you around the Link Center. I've said hello. And thank you to all of you for being a part of my life as well, because you're all wonderful people, and I'm really happy to see everyone here today. Thank you for coming. So before we bring up the next people, I wanted to give a shout out to one of the faculty members who has been chair of the department for a long period of time and has made many contributions, Mr. Tim Bertall. Come on, give him a also for Ami. All right, Ami. The next program in line is the Infectious Disease Prevention and Priority Population Certificate, led by Ms. Joni Marinoff, with the assistance of Emily Thompson. Come on, let's give them a warm welcome.
So I want to take a special moment to really honor this woman, Emily Thompson. I think everybody knows her and appreciates the Link Center, which she manages with such finesse. So thank you so much. I think it's a huge part of the success. So along with everyone else, I'm humbled to be here and honored to present the graduates of the Infectious Disease Prevention Certificate, formerly the HIV Prevention Certificate. And just a word that we have, I just want to acknowledge that we have so much to be grateful for. And in the world of HIV alone, HIV has sort of become a chronic disease and not a terminal illness. And so the world of HIV prevention has transformed in my lifetime. Who thought we would see this, but we have. And thus the transformation of our program. So I really want to thank and honor the graduates. And I know many of them aren't with us here present today, but for those of us who are, can you come over to the side of the stage? And so I want to appreciate you for your work and your commitment, and makes me feel like the world is a better place knowing you're out there and we're all doing this together. So Emily's going to get them out with me. And I'm going to acknowledge everybody, even the ones that aren't here. Marcus Addock is not here, but let's give him a round of applause. Juan Ariza Aguilar is also not here. But Mr. John Bowler is. You were hiding behind. And Mr. John Bowler. Joan Chen, I believe, is not here, but let's give her a round. Also not present. Elba Dalber.
just like to give a shout out to my dad that came all the way from Texas.
Kathleen J. McDougall, who is not here with us today. Robert F. Mary. Remy Lynn Marie Perez. Ronit M. Politi. Michael C. Pritchett.
As you crack the whip on it.
Lots of love, lots of love. Melba F. Rodovan. Silvia N. Ramos. María G. Salcedo. Michelle N. Sayada. Julie M. Thies and Fiona. Julianne Tucker is not with us today. James L. Whelan is not with us today. We want us to acknowledge them. Angela Willem. And Jesus G. Yanez, who is also not with us today. I also want to thank, in the audience we have many alumni, and we also have students who are currently on our Community Mentor Certificate cohort this year. So thank you so much for being with us today. The Community Mentor Certificate.
All right. I have to say this. What a beautiful wife. That's gonna give me some points. But you know, sometimes along the day things happen and you get the points and then they're taken away and you get the points are taken away. So I can't keep track of it, but I know she does. But that ain't All right. Well, the next program up on the line is the Drug and Alcohol Study Certificate, which is led by Ms. Tammy Isles and Craig Benzel.
Hi, everybody. Before we get started, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge someone who's not here today. I mean, he's still with the living, but he's not present at our graduation. And this is Jim Stillwell, who is the Deputy Director at Community Behavioral Health Services. This is a bittersweet moment for us because he's retiring from the department. And we want to thank him for his tireless commitment and dedication to the Drug and Alcohol Studies program, but his unwavering support for our mission to train compassionate, competent counselors since our inception 17 years ago. We want to thank him for providing guidance and wisdom to our community advisory board. This is not a goodbye, as we look forward to many collaborative years with him. But we wanted to acknowledge him, and we have a small token of appreciation, and I want to read it. It says, to honor and thank you, Jim Stillwell, for your lifelong commitment to healing and helping others find their path. Thank you, Jim Stillwell. And I will give this to Lucy Ariano, who will make sure he gets this. Okay, hi. I just want to say that, you know, there is this cliche, it does take a village, and it definitely takes a village to run this program. And I want to acknowledge all of the instructors who teach in our program. And if you're here, please stand up so we can acknowledge you. And there are many more who could not be here. Tiffany, Bruce, Joe Reyes, Jennifer, and I think that's it. But we want to acknowledge them. I also want to acknowledge our Community Advisory Board members, and there are two that I can see right here that are here, and if you're here, please stand up. 3 of our Community Advisory. And I want to give a special, just still ask before I get to you. I want to acknowledge Ray Bong, who is an amazing colleague friend, and he supports a lot of our students who have formerly incarcerated who are trying to continue their education, and he's been a godsend this semester. Thank you so much, Ray. Can I have the graduates move to this side here? And after I call your name, can you just stand up front and okay. Okay, so the first name is Daniel Berner, and he could not be here today. He lost his partner. His partner just died, and he could not be here, but we want to acknowledge him because given all of that, he still continued to come to classes. We send him lots of love. Bonnie Jean Cosgrove. Is Lisa Diaz here? No. Okay. Larry Reyes. Yay!
I just want to thank my
hi there.
And John
Yeah, okay. You bet. Sure.
You
Don't stay.
So I've noticed one thing in particular, that I think we should be giving everyone also a certificate in hugology, because everybody is really good hugger who comes through our program. And some of you know me as the stress teacher because I teach the stress and health class. And one of the things I've learned recently is that we all need at least 8 hugs a day to prime that oxytocin pump, that love and happiness hormone. So why don't you all turn around and give someone next to you a hug just to get it going. We're getting our hug. Are you getting yours?
Thank you, Joni. Hugs are really good stuff. Really good things. We have one more certificate to present, and from there we'll be moving on to the closing. The next certificate in line is the Trauma Prevention and Recovery Certificate, which is led by Diego Rivera Theater, and we also have Leslie Simon. Come on, let's show them some love.
Thank you all so much. I think all of us have learned more than we would wish about trauma, but you graduates teach us about resilience in so many ways that inspire us and remind us why we're here. So thank you so much. I also want to honor and thank our colleagues, instructors, who also teach me about resilience in 100 million ways. And I want to honor and acknowledge our Dean, Ray Gamba, and thank him for his support. And also the Health Department for our collaborations in many ways. Beth Friedman, the chair, Tim Bertolt as well. Everyone who helped make this event possible, Emily Thompson, Craig, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name anymore, Carol, and Saul. Thank you so much. The Trauma Certificate is an interdisciplinary certificate with core courses from child development, women's studies, health education, and interdisciplinary studies. And we have electives in administration of justice, labor and community studies, learn, psychology, theater, and work experience. It's a cutting-edge program. It's new, and I think, however, there are going to be many career pathways, working with veterans, working in education, and of course, always with violence prevention. Among our graduates, we have a veteran who's going to be taking his certificate work into the Veterans Affairs while he pursues a psychology degree, an Ojibwe jingle dancer who's transferring to San Francisco State, where she's going to pursue a degree in art therapy and psychology, someone who's already working at an internship at NAMI. Another graduate is taking her work with survivors of domestic violence into her church. We've got graduates working with gang survivors and youth. You've already heard about Inez and her amazing work. We've got graduates transferring to Monterey Bay State, San Francisco State, activists, several of them pursuing a sexual health educator certificate, and at least one has said that she hopes to be the next Leslie Simon. And that she's well on her way, and we would all be very much improved with how many Leslie Simons we could have in the world. So I'll call them up. If you can come ahead and stand in the back, and then come forward and walk across the front.